Hello guys, as you would guess, at this point I'm kind of tired of responding to this guy Maj0r Lee's video on why he thinks Star Wars Last Jedi is one of the most amazing pieces of work ever and why changing the face of Star Wars is such a good thing. I'm getting tired of responding to it because the video is just filled so much, truth is just filled to the brim with straw man arguments, false equivalency, a whole mess of things that would not work if this was being used as a template for something huge. Like, if this was like a really big thing, there was no way this would ever work in forms of debate. Because honestly, to him, there is no debate over that film, and that's That's a pretty stupid type of position to have on a film as divisive as Star Wars: The Last Jedi. Why wouldn't it not be debated? Okay, everybody's been debating the prequels for 5 years now, when it was pretty clear that a few years ago, but before that, the film was complete and utter garbage, irredeemable in every way. All right, and I agree. Some things looking back at the prequels were kind of misjudged, but still, it's pretty bad for what it tried to do. That's why so many people don't like the film, because everything about it was just kind of messed up. It kind of messed up everything surrounding the continuity of Star Wars. And honestly, that's why a lot of people were really irritated with it. It messed up a lot of things with the Star Wars universe. Alright? And so to say that this film, which has been more divisive than the prequels by far, has led to so many internet forums and things just outright destroying friendships within the fandom of Star Wars, that debate shouldn't be up for there should not be a debate when it comes to this thing. That is completely disingenuous to me. Alright? And and all the arguments he said that are in favor of all the bullshit decisions made in the movie, it's like, look, there's some things that can be debated about the plot, sure. I'm completely up for that, and I want to have that debate. But this guy doesn't want a debate. He just wants to sit behind the comfy cloud of subjectivity when, objectively speaking, this film is fucking terrible. Not only from a storytelling standpoint, but just from a directing standpoint. There are just a lot of things wrong with the film. And honestly, like I said when I started this series of videos, that Maj0r Lee embodies basically everything wrong with the defense of Star Wars: The Last Jedi. Everything wrong with it. Because if you're going to ignore, basically everything wrong with the film in order to be subjective about it, that's pretty bad, especially when the flaws are so major. Like, when the flaws are freaking everywhere in a film, there's absolutely no way you can disguise that. Unless you're like trying to say, well, yeah, but on its own. Alright, if it was like, yeah, on its own, I would be more or less inclined to agree with you. Because if it was more or less on its own, the Star Wars: Last Jedi wouldn't be as bad of a movie. It would still be kind of crap to my standards, but on its own, not being looked at as a Star Wars movie, yeah, I could see why it would have some appeal. And of course, whenever you have a large group of people consuming product X, like The Last Jedi, of course there's a lot of people are gonna like it regardless. All right, so I'm not gonna deny that. I'm not saying that you shouldn't like the Star Wars: Last Jedi if you want to. If you want to like The Last Jedi, you have absolutely all the freedom to do so. It's just, to me, you have to admit a couple key things about the film, like how divisive it is and stuff like that. You have to admit some of the bad writing stuff in it. You have to admit that there are a lot of flaws in the film, but you still like it. And I think a lot of the people who do defend this movie are like that. But people like Maj0r Lee are, like I said, everything wrong with the defense of the film. Because if you're just going to say that there's absolutely nothing wrong with this film, and this film is a masterpiece of writing, even though their evidence is not there to support that, then, no, I don't, then I would say that you're pretty close-minded when it comes to that type of stuff. Because if you can't recognize obvious in-your-face flaws and just say that everything about the film is beautiful, even if it has nothing to do with connection to the story or the characters, especially when it comes to the disservice of characters from the past in order to bring up the new ones. I mean, I don't know. It's just pretty bad to me. It's just pretty bad, and it's pretty telling about the state of, you know, media consumption since, 1999. Because back in 1999, the year I was born, people in the media, like, not people in the media, I mean people, were very, very critical of stuff. And then, honestly, the criticalness has not gotten any better because there is no one really being critical much anymore. A lot of people are just fine with mediocrity in regards to fans and critics. Like, as long as it has a name attached to it, it can't fall below this form. Like, it can't fall below this set path for it. Like, if the first film was great and it's part of a great franchise, then it should not fall below this type of rating. And that's a shitty standard to have for not only fans, but for critics as well. And one of the big things that I've really found wrong with defenses of big name movies that are getting rebooted or softcore rebooted, like, the new Ghostbusters, is that just because it shares the name with Ghostbusters, it's automatically going to be good, or if it shares the name of Star Wars, it's automatically going to be good. That's pretty crap. And, like I said, there's just a lot of stretches in terms of the story. There's a lot of stretches made by this guy and so many others when it comes to the promotion of this film and whether or not people think it's a masterpiece. Because a lot of it is bullcrap to me. Alright, like I said, there's a lot of good people out there probably who defend this film in a good light. Alright, there's a couple of good people. I will leave a link down in the description for people who genuinely like the film but realize there are a lot of in-your-face flaws about it. There's this one guy who said he liked the film, but he made a video titled The Last Jedi Went Wrong. Like, he literally made a video saying this. It's like, a lot of things were messed up a little bit. Even though he said he liked the film, he realized that there were a lot of flaws, and he accepted that. Alright? And that's the type of opinion I want to see from people who like the film. Is that they recognize the faults, but, they still like the film. If you recognize the faults and you like the film, then you're good. Then you are good to me. Alright? That's something that a lot of people do. Alright? I do it a lot. Alright? But to me, everything has faults. Every movie has some type of fault here or there that can mess with the movie in some way. Alright, that's always going to be there. Every movie's going to have faults and plot holes and all these different things, but The Last Jedi was filled to the brim with them. Alright, like I said, you can enjoy the film and see its faults, okay? If you enjoy the film and see its faults, good job. But if you're going to say that there are almost completely no utter faults in the movie whatsoever, even though there are so many things done in disservice to the characters and to the story, and why there are so many things in the movie that just don't make sense, and you're not even going to try to remedy that later, then that's pretty close-minded to me. That's pretty close-minded. Like, you can't just have a good, honest discussion about the problems with the movie, okay? Alright, and there are some movies that can be strengthened by its faults, but this is not one of those movies. This isn't even a so bad it's good type of movie. Which is kind of sad, because some people do consider it that, and I can completely understand why. So it's just, really want to see, like, this. I really do want to see this whole thing, like, have a free form debate over, the faults and the writing and the acting and whatever in The Last Jedi. I really do want to have a good, honest discussion about that. But if you're going to listen to guys like Maj0r Lee, who are so close-minded on this issue that they're just going to act like complete nerdy dicks, then I don't know why I've been dedicating so much time to them. I don't know why I have. And honestly, I'm going to stop. I'm going to stop now I'm going to stop for now. because this has been going on for a month now. Went through 8 videos, 11 minutes, over hours of runtime for me talking about the damn video. And honestly, I'm just getting sick and tired of doing it. I might come back to it later, but for now, I'm just going to stop. And I'm going to focus on what I was trying to do earlier. I'm going to talk about everything that was happening since The Force Awakens, everything leading up to The Last Jedi, so that way I could finally do a full in-depth review of the movie. That's what I've been wanting to do, that's what I need to do, and I'm going to get that back on schedule. So right now, we're just at the intermission. This is the intermission of this whole thing, and if I do come back to it, I'll hopefully be in a better place. And I'm also, that same token, going to go over everything the critics get wrong. And there are a lot of things I think the critics got wrong, WorldClassBullshitters, who are just, complete assholes who want to rain on people's parade. Alright, for me, I don't want to rain on people's parade whether or not they like the film, whether or not they think the Clone Wars is coming back, but the WorldClassBullshitters, ooh boy, they rain on your parade. Even if you think there's something to get excited over, they're like, nope. So, anyway, thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Hopefully I can get some sources and stuff looked up over the next few days, and I could finally make a full in-depth analysis of everything leading up from Force Awakens to The Last Jedi. I'm going to go over Rogue One, and then I'm going to go over the acquisition of Rian Johnson into the fold. And then we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. I'll see you guys later. Don't die, guys.